On today's show, a futuristic chandelier that looks like a big old light bright.
We find out just what it takes to get to go to the Star Wars Episode 7 premiere.
And a comedy club right here in America is gonna let dead comedians perform, which is weird. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Esqueda, joining me as always on his invisible motorbike, Khail Anonymous.
Ashley Esqueda gets to see Tomorrowland tonight.
Today. Tomorrow. Yep. Figuring that out. I do. Producer Logan's going to see it too. You're not going.
I'm not going.
I'll bring you next time.
I should just go to Disneyland.
You know what? You could just go ride Space Mountain 15 times.
Are you excited about it?
Pretty excited.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a Disney kid, so I'm really looking forward to, I love Brad Bird, Iron Giant, Incredibles, so I'm excited about that. Everybody loves George Clooney.
Yeah, but you can look forward to, you're actually going to you're going to go to the interview Brad Bird, the director.
I get to go talk to Brad Bird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Right
so
on.
that'll be at some point in the future.
We're doing stuff. We're not just locked in the studio. We're going out there and talking to famous people and people that are smarter than us, good humans everywhere.
I got a day pass.
Okay.
But let's talk about all the stuff we have today.
I just want to get people hyped. That's
True.
all.
Let's hit the headlines. Okay, so who's your favorite comedian who has passed away?
Mitch Hedberg?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would say...
Or Richard Pryor?
I would say George Carlin.
Or George Carlin?
Lenny Bruce. A lot of good...
I feel like there's a ton.
There's a pretty big
lot
stable...
of legends. Okay.
Legends who've passed on. Okay, so comedy is not quite dead. This story is pretty incredible. There is a comedy club in New York that will be, I like try to figure out the best way to say this. They're gonna let comedians who have died perform famous sets that we've seen them perform before via hologram in their comedy club.
Ooh, okay.
Which is like, what? Crazy. Crazy. So can you imagine like seeing Richard Pryor as a hologram walking around doing a set? I think this is really cool. I love comedy. I love going out to comedy shows. You and Logan are big music fans. You go out to a lot of music festivals and stuff. Like, I'm a comedy girl. Like, I like to go see comedy shows. And I've performed stand-up comedy. I enjoy it. I'm not very good at it. But regardless, I love good comedy. So I love this. So this club is called the National Comedy Center. It's not just a nightclub. They want to open next year in Jamestown in New York, and they are going to have holograms of stand-ups and comic actors from various eras, so not just, 70s comics or not any of that. They're going to have a whole bunch of different kinds of comics. And the chairman of this center described the Comedy Center as, and this is a quote, "a comedy club where folks can go back in time and witness a classic routine in a setting, God knows where it might have been, and experience that as if they were really there." And I think this is awesome because a lot of people never got the chance to see Richard Pryor perform. Like, I didn't. I was too young. And George Carlin and these great, great comedians, Mitch Hedberg, we never got the chance to do that. And now we might get the chance to sort of see a comedy routine in a club with other people because that is an experience, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way you want to sort of see these sets. It's great to watch, for example, like a Netflix comedy special at home. It's awesome. But it never beats being in a crowd with other people who are there to laugh. So I love this. I think this is a great idea.
That's very interesting.
They're going to be working with Hologram USA, which is the Beverly Hills company that did Jimmy Kimmel. Remember when he did the country, I think it was he was in Nashville the same time he was in Los Angeles doing Jimmy Kimmel Live. This is the same company, Hologram USA, and they want to spotlight comedians like Milton Berle, Bob Hope, George Carlin, Rodney Dangerfield. But they did say that
Bill Cosby, that would be good to see him.
I think he's still alive.
No, he's dead to me.
Well, he's dead to everybody, I think, at this point. But the guy, the chairman, said that there are not quite deals in place with these comedians' families yet. So there's no like lineups in place or anything. And I know
it sounds like a lot of work.
Well,
but...
there's sort of another hurdle that might be a thing.
Another one? All right.
Well, so holograms aside, I mean, comedians like Robin Williams, who passed away last year, actually stipulated in his will that his digital image could not be used for any commercial purpose for 25 years after his death. So
How did you have enough foresight for that?
apparently somebody did. Either he did or maybe his lawyers did, or they saw that hologram technology for like Tupac and Jimmy Kimmel, and they were like, we have to protect your image for the next however long. So we're never going to see like a CG Robin Williams hawking something in a commercial, or, basically his image can't be sold after his death for a certain period of time. So you definitely won't be seeing Robin Williams in this comedy club. But this is a very interesting sort of digital rights issue, like where there are going to be times where people who are famous, I mean, clearly after we die, we will continue to do this show in hologram form because you're welcome, everybody. But for all of these comedians' families, there's a question of, is this a thing that we want to do? That like, do we feel comfortable about this? Is this something that they would have wanted? That's obviously a good question to ask. So there's a lot of kind of, it sounds amazing on the surface, and I as a comedy fan would love it. But then there's also all these other issues you kind of have to consider. So it's a pretty interesting sort of thing that they're planning to do. I really like it.
I'd definitely do that.
Would you? You'd go?
I'd go check it out. Yeah.
I would too. I feel like I would too.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I think it's really cool. And that actually brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is TD Comedy.
Okay, which comedian would you want to see?
Which comedian would you see?
TD Comedy?
And you
Okay.
said...
I said a million different comedians.
A million different comedians.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. If Lucille Ball did stand up, I feel like I would want to see that.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
I don't know that she did a lot of that. She was an actress primarily, but I would have loved to have seen her talk about it. I would love to see George Burns, like.
That's a good one too.
George Burns would have been good.
I don't want to
Bob
say any
Hope.
more because I don't want to take any from anybody that's gonna put
Yeah.
the hashtag.
Well,
so.
shut up now.
So there you go.
TD Comedy, send it over. Tell us who you'd want to see, a comedian that's passed away. Performer-wise, man, wouldn't it be cool to see
Stop it.
really old?
Yeah, stop saying comedians. Let them
I'm not
have
doing
some
comedians, not comedians, but I mean like even like older performers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Would be really cool.
Tupac do some stand-up. That would be pretty funny. Yeah.
Hilarious. Real shots in the dark.
Anyway.
All right, go on.
So, we all want to go to the Star Wars Episode 7 premiere. We
I do.
all do.
Yes.
But these guys want to go a lot more than we do. Now, so they to make it so that they could plead with J.J. Abrams to go to the Star Wars Episode 7 premiere,
What did they do?
sent an X-Wing up into space.
Oh, wow. Look at that
Yep.
footage. That's amazing.
Legitimately sent an X-Wing up into space. Okay, now this is a tiny little X-Wing.
What
right?
a
It's not
cool
full-size
practical
X-Wing.
effect, though.
So this guy named Matt Kingsnorth and Phil St. Pierre have a program called Project Helium Tears.
Ooh, okay.
In which they send stuff, they photograph stuff up in space.
Oh.
So they decided to launch a Model X-Wing up into space with a GoPro and film it.
Genius. Look at these guys. They're like, all right.
This isn't the first time people have done this.
No.
I've seen a pizza get sent up into space.
A
I've seen-
donut. A
yeah,
donut
a donut got sent up into space. But yeah, they sent up this X-Wing up into space, and then they they filmed it, and then they added the Star Wars text crawl
To the footage?
to the
Oh my
footage
God.
with the plea of the J.J. Abrams, please send us to the Star Wars Episode 7 premiere. And of course, he loves practical effects, so maybe this will happen. This is,
I would
yeah,
love
there's
this.
the text crawl.
Yes.
So
My
there you
answer
go.
is yes.
This is basically their plea. Again, Project Helium Tears, if you want to check out more of their stuff. I think this is awesome. I think this is how we should start sending people. I think there should be a special premiere for all the people that go crazy and do like cool
I love
pleas.
this.
I think everyone should do this.
Yeah. High fives to you guys.
There's no word on whether or not they're getting sent.
No word yet, but they have a hashtag if you want to follow the saga. It's just hashtag HeyJJ.
Hey, JJ.
Hey JJ. But yeah, I think this is amazing, and I love this because it makes the X-Wing look like it's huge and flying a lot lower to the ground. It looks like there's a giant X-Wing flying like maybe 500 feet up.
So super cool.
That is pretty glorious. I hope they get it. I hope they get it. If I was J.J. Abrams, I'd be super impressed by that. And I'd be like, yes, you can come to they don't even want to go to the LA premiere. They want to go to the London premiere. Well, that's the one where, I guess the production house is there. So, all right, I got to tell you about the futuristic chandelier that you're going to want in your house.
Oh yeah, Sia's gonna want this.
She's going to swing from it, of course. So this is pretty sweet. This is a huge LED chandelier that was created by a company called A Screen. It's in Russia. and they worked with a few other companies in collaboration on this. This was made for the Leningrad Center in St. Petersburg in Russia, and there's 1,089 LEDs. They're software controlled, so here they are. They put them all up there. They light it up, and this thing is pretty cool because it is software controlled, meaning this thing can move. So are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Wait for the drop. Oh, look at it's alive.
Crap.
Isn't that awesome? For anybody just listening, like you kind of have to see this. Like there's really no other way to describe it. Yeah, it's amazing. And I want to go to there and see it in person. And the cool thing about this is that not only does it give the illusion of sort of this like fluid movement as if it's light and water, it also does these really sharp geometric shapes as well. So you can see it look right back to a flat plane that's a square.
I want to see if it can do like a face.
Maybe. I would imagine so.
It seems like it could do like a face and like shapes and stuff like this. But this is incredible.
There's almost 1,100.
So what are they using it for?
It's a huge LED chandelier that they installed in the Leningrad Center, and they wanted something that was really sort of futuristic and that was kind of a showpiece for the Leningrad Center, and so this is what they came up with. And I want a small version of this in my house immediately, like a little tiny LEDs, like in a little light. I think that would be amazing.
Was there any music to this? Because this seems like it would be awesome against some music.
I think they were just showing like how it works, but I would imagine when it's actually alive and the Leningrad Center's open, there will be, I'm sure there will be music attached to this. You know exactly what
I'm thinking, some sick EDM music.
Of course. Yeah, of course, yeah. No, you got to. And it took them 3 weeks, and the installers were suspended 30 feet in the air, like installing everything, which was crazy. Not for 3 weeks straight. Well, I don't know, maybe it was Russia. They might have just forced them to do it. They picked up people off the street. In Mother Russia, Chandelier lights up you. But I love this. It looks like a giant light bright in 3D space, and I thought that was so cool. And also, it makes new patterns and sequences every time it turns on. So the software creates new ways for it to run and
thinking.
Sort of. It's not sentient. It's just kind of RNG sort of based,
right.
Almost like a visualizer in Winamp, if you recall those. Like a visualizer in Winamp.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting old school there. I'm a 90-year-old woman. I love Winamp. Or I used to love it until it went away. But yeah, so that's the LED chandelier. Really, I think chandelier of the future. But that's it for headlines.
Cool.
We're going to come back in a minute with our Intuits, which are actual physical items that we have both brought into the studio, which is exciting.
Mine's a cheetah.
Mine is not a cheetah, but it's cool anyway. And we also have your user feedback for Oculus Rift and our phone talker for the day. So don't click away. It's Tomorrow Daily. But before you go, check out this beautiful fly-through of 3D space. This is amazing. Welcome back to the show. We've returned. It's a Thursday, which means it's time to tell you about all of the things that we are super excited about. This is Intuit. Go. Where's your cheetah?
It didn't make it through the break.
It didn't get past security gate? Did you not get a drive-on pass for it?
Nah.
Terrible. Couldn't
I
even get it
figured he
on?
could just run past security,
Nope.
but he has not been working out. So,
Oh, fair enough.
we all, practically everyone in the whole world saw Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
True.
And it left a lot of people asking, so what's next, right?
Right.
Where is this Marvel Cinematic Universe going? Obviously, there's going to be, the Civil War, and there's going to be the Infinity Wars, right? Well, my Intuit this week is the Infinity Gauntlet, okay?
Ooh.
So basically, this is the direction they could go. It's got Thanos, the guy that was in the after credits thing. That's not really a big spoiler because
Right.
whatever.
A lot of people
And
in the theater were like, who's that guy?
And then here are the gems, that they were
Infinity
collecting.
gems.
I'm kind of speaking in layman's terms right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll get there.
Okay.
If you're interested to kind of know where it could possibly go, because they've said that it's not going to go this direction for sure, you can read this and kind of see maybe some of the
Little
directions they
ideas.
could go.
Okay.
You'll learn a little bit more about Thanos, but more importantly, there's some amazing art. Look, I only recently got into comics, but this has been one of my favorite as far as art's concerned. There's some really
Go back.
Focus,
There you
but
go. It's in focus that way when it's close to your face.
There's a lot of really incredible art in this book, and it's one of my favorites. So yeah, you can also see how they would deal with death in their Marvel Cinematic Universe. I can't spoil too much, but it's pretty short. And if you wanted to hop in and see how they blend in X-Men and Spider-Man and the Avengers all into this world.
Yeah, it looks like there's, I mean, look at the back cover. I mean, look at how many.
There's Wolverine.
So many characters.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
That's a lot of characters. That's crazy.
So it's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. It has a really satisfying beginning and ending. You get to meet Thanos and see the potentials.
See what he's like.
It's not 100%, and there's another Infinity series that you can read.
Okay.
But yeah, this one is a blast, and I love it. So it was like $12, $14 on Amazon if you want to pick it up.
Seems like a good cost for that amount of entertainment.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I'm into. I've already read it. I'm going to read it again. So.
Excellent. Well, I want to borrow it when you're done.
Okay.
Can I show you what I'm into?
All right. So Ashley, what are you into?
Okay. So this is for the camera nerds out there because I just got my Fuji X100T and I've been looking for a bag and I finally found what I like to think is maybe the perfect bag. I love bags. I'm obsessed with good camera bags and good like laptop bags. Like I love it. I have a lot of bags. So here's my problem. I can't carry my mirrorless camera around in my purse because it's hitting everything in there. I didn't want a little tiny sort of like pouch case. I don't like that. I want to be able to just reach in, pull out a camera and start taking pictures. But I also need to be able to carry my laptop or my iPad for the show, and I just want one frickin' bag. Like, I hate carrying a purse.
I like that you're selling the bag.
And a messenger bag. Yeah. Like, I hate that. I hate it. So this is the Ona, it's on Ona Bags, O-N-A, and this is the Prince Street bag. I think this is a newer bag that they released. I just got it at Sammy's Camera this weekend, and I went down to Sammy's Camera like hoping I would hate it because
there's video.
Yeah, they have little videos and stuff. They have little promo videos.
It's like bag porn.
It is. I love these types of videos. I just love bags, guys. Okay, like I'm really obsessed with bags. So I bought this weekend at Sammy's. I went down there kind of crossing my fingers that I would not like it because I didn't want to spend the money. These are not cheap. Like they're not like you're not gonna pay $50 for this. I think this is
how much?
$279.
Wow,
so
yeah.
if they feel super durable. I really like the leather's really good. The waxed canvas is nice, but okay. Here is the inside of my bag. So it's got all of my different compartments, and you can adjust them. So they have all the adjustable camera bag compartments, which now I have like my wallet, my glasses, my camera, everything's in there, and then it has a back pouch that fits my 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro or my iPad, which is really all I need. So I didn't want a bigger bag because I always feel like I overload larger messenger bags with a bunch of stuff that I never need. So this forced me to sort of size down, keep it simple. And but no, I'm really enjoying it, and I will say that I've gotten many compliments while carrying it around. A lot of people have really liked it. I like the it feels sturdy, and I like that there's a little short handle too as well.
Very
nice. So it's I totally love this bag, and I'm sorry for totally nerding out on you guys, but
hey, it's your Into It segment.
But yeah, no, this is what I'm into this week. I really do love this bag. I'm obsessed with it. So next week it'll be. I already have my Into It lined up for next week.
Is it another bag?
No, it might be in the studio and remote controlled. It's not a cheetah.
It's a remote control bag cheetah. So real quick though, I want to address another Into It, which is Logan's Into It for this weekend. Logan, what's your Into It?
Daredevil?
No, next weekend.
Oh, next weekend.
He'll go next.
Okay,
we'll talk about it next weekend.
We'll save that. Is yours Daredevil this weekend?
Sure, I want to try and finish.
He's going to try to finish it.
Hang in there, Logan.
You're going to make it, Logan.
Yeah.
But until then, let's talk about your user feedback.
I'm just so excited for his
I know.
Into It next week, but I just was like, here it is.
We asked you guys to use the hashtag TDRift to tell us about your thoughts on the Oculus Rift. Is it too late? That's the big question. Is it too late? Are you in? Are you out? Are you waiting on the fence? A lot of you guys wrote in on this. Ewan wrote in and said, depends how HoloLens develops in the next 12 months. Might be obsolete on debut, which I kind of agree with that.
I disagree.
Maybe obsolete. I don't know, but it's so different.
VR and AR are completely different.
So different.
Yeah.
Ramses wrote in and just said out. He doesn't want it. Too
Look,
late.
I will say this, like, if people are less likely to buy a VR headset if they're going to buy an AR headset, because
True.
they're not going to want to own both. No, nobody's going to. Well, I will.
It's
like,
hard.
I
yeah.
want to own both.
But we're weirdos who buy everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of, but a normal person who is not a freak of nature and not obsessed with everything that turns on and has a screen and lights up and has circuits is probably only going to choose one.
I tell you what. So if someone goes, okay, you're going to buy a HoloLens, right? Let's say you're going to buy one. But
Yeah.
then I'm like, hey, Nintendo's releasing a VR headset.
Well, even the Oculus Rift, like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
I gotta have
So
both.
it's like a
I want
gamer
both.
thing,
It's I gotta have both.
So I think.
And if Nintendo released one that only worked with their Next, I'd buy that too.
Yeah, it's a question of are people going to want to get both of them? So.
Yeah. Again, content. Content is king. It's got to be good stuff. And then Sean wrote in and said, VR is super limited. There is a Goldilocks point between AR and VR that is actually doable without sim sickness. So out. So Sean's out too.
Oh no, Oculus.
A lot of people saying out.
Oculus broke the mold, like broke into the market and then lost it.
Passed in the dust.
But we'll see.
We'll see though. I don't know.
A lot of skeptics.
Lastly, Jerry wrote in and said, not excited about the idea of gaming using VR, but if I can visit places that might be too risky or dangerous in reality, maybe. And I liked that because it was like, don't care about gaming. That doesn't really interest me. But if I can go to these places like, you know, maybe Mars or even places that are too dangerous to travel to right now in the world, like, you know, maybe that's a thing that you would want to do. I want to go to Antarctica. Like I can't, or the top of Mount Everest. Like that's too dangerous for me. I would definitely die on that mountain. But like, I would love to be able to experience it via virtual reality, even though it wasn't quite the same thing. Like I would love to be able to see that. So I get it. I totally get that. And I agree with you.
If they can somehow put me into the wasteland in Fallout, you've sold so many VR headsets.
Do you really think that they won't do, like, I'm sure Fallout 4 will have some VR element.
I'm just never taking that headset off.
No.
If they put me in the wasteland, I'm gonna, and I'll even
Kale's
eat,
moving to Megaton.
I'll even
Bye.
eat like roach meat to get full into the simulation.
You'll have rads. We're
ready.
gonna have to like test you
I'm gonna
for radiation.
smell
Yeah, it's
bad,
gonna
yeah.
be terrible. But that's
So
what you guys had to
VR
say. Yeah, VR. Like a lot of people are kind of really teetering about this. They're kind of like, well, now that I've seen HoloLens, I'm not into it. I'm out. Or they say, you know, I like both. Or they'll say like, well, no, I've always been on VR and I'm gonna stick with VR.
It's just got to stop being a gimmick.
Yeah, it's gotta-
Once
it's gotta
VR,
be
like
great.
people aren't just buying a gimmick and they're buying an actual like game player. Like you're like, okay, this game
I
came
am
out.
in
It's
this.
$60 and it's 40 hours worth of content. Okay, cool. I really want to experience all
Yep.
that.
I agree.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
E3 is coming up, so I guess we'll see if
We'll learn
anybody
more,
that
at
said
least.
out changes back.
Changes
so.
back in. Yeah, because they're gonna have a lot of information at E3.
Elder Scrolls, like if there was a Skyrim game, everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, I guess I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
in now.
okay,
I'm
fine.
in now.
Skyrim VR. Okay, guys. Well, it's time for our very last piece of user feedback, which is always our photographer of the day. You know, Loom wrote in. It's been so long, Loom. Actually, he's
Has
never
it
wrote in.
been?
He's
Okay.
never wrote in. Loom wrote in and said, "Hi guys, love the show. I took this picture in the mountains of Kosovo with my S4. I'm only 15, so don't be harsh on me. Keep up the good work." Yeah, Kosovo.
Have we ever been harsh on anybody, Loom?
I don't think so. I feel, well, Loom's talking to you right now, so I'll just,
Yeah. It's pretty good, Loom.
I like it. Look at
Yeah.
all the clouds and
I
they
like
got the
it.
shadows on the floor. I mean, that's amazing. And what a view. I wonder what's behind him. Maybe a big mansion.
Like a bear.
And a bear. A
Yeah.
bear who owns a mansion.
You're standing on his property.
Get off of his property.
Tapping you on the shoulder and telling you, please leave.
Please
Loom.
leave, sir.
Loom, that picture's fantastic, but you need to, this is my property.
Stop
The
trespassing.
police are on their way. The bear police are on their way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And don't take any of my picnic baskets.
Also, you sent in this picture on Thursday, and we're crazy on Thursday.
We
so.
have lost it officially. It's a Thursday. So great job, Loom. If anybody out there wants to submit their photography, you're more than welcome to. You can email us tomorrow at cnet.com. You can also send us segment ideas. You can send us story ideas. And if you absolutely hate email, that's okay. You can find us on social media. We're Tomorrow Daily all over the shop, all over the internet, except for Snapchat.
Just
we don't
look-
like you, Snapchat.
Easy.
Right here.
Loom likes Snapchat.
Well, that's fine.
All right. Well, anyway.
I
Also, if you're watching on, don't forget YouTube, iTunes. We got both of those things. Don't forget to, sub and all that stuff. And
You know what to
follow
do.
us on Twitters at Khail Anonymous.
And I'm at Ashley Skeva. And that's it for this week's show. We'll be back on Monday with a brand new docket of weird, wonderful science fact and science fiction. Smash it together right in your face in all the good ways. But until then, be good humans, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.